Good morning, everybody. Looking like a good day to be on the charts here. So let's get into what is happening fundamentally. Alright. So yesterday we had USD retail sales, pretty strong data. As you can see today, we are pushing down on gold. Alright, we had that bearish closure yesterday, kind of confirming a continuation of this bearish sentiment here. Broken the lows of yesterday, we obviously are now at this daily support level. So we'll dive deep into that on the lower time frames. But if we get a nice clearance of that level on the lower time frames, we should see some sort of wick fill here back down into these lows throughout the day. Fed Powell also spoke mainly about the threats of inflation and how they will continue to raise rates. Plan to raise rates by 50 base points the next two meetings in June and July. Yeah, obviously just a lot of talk about inflation and raising rates. Same story. As far as I know, you did mention certain things being out of the Fed's control. You know, that doesn't sound too good to me, but obviously certain things he said have lifted the sentiment for the dollar, and we are seeing this continuation down here on gold for now. Okay, so in terms of GBP, we have CPI and PPI just now at 8:30. 8:30? 8:15. 8:20. 8:20, excuse me. Okay, so yeah, for GBP, it's gonna be best here to wait for the news. Alright, looking at price, we are extremely bullish at this point. We had a closure back into this kind of range over here. We even closed above this resistance over here, which, as you can see now, our daily time frame, our new daily time frame, we have wicked down into some of these levels here, and as you can see on the lower time frames, forming a pretty nice support. So with your hourly candle closure now at 8, okay, you could expect to see price drive up, and this is not a bad move at all. Sitting like this, you know, your new hourly, if you get a break of these highs here, you know, you could drive up to resistance, but gonna focus on gold for now. Gonna let GJ play out with the news. We can always get in as we break this resistance here if we are looking for buys. In terms of sells, yeah, not too eager on sells right now. Okay, so that's that. Just waiting for news on GJ. The overall direction is bullish. Like I say, gonna wait for break over the resistance, or you know, we'll see how news plays out. If we get an opportunity to enter in this range, it's possible. It looks good right now. I'm not too sure how it will look at 8:30 after the news, so we'll just have to see. Let's do a little bit more of a deeper analysis here. So, like I say, you have now formed a resistance on the daily. Okay, see how it ties in with previous levels over here, and currently you're sitting at a support. On your 4-hour candle, you've closed below the daily. Alright, you are waking up on the current 4-hour candle, and you've created a support, okay, over here. So right now, just waiting for a break of this support. In terms of targets, okay, you do have a level over here. Let's mark it up as this level right here. We should push through those levels with volume and with the higher time frame playing a major role here. But of course, you know, you do want to just be cautious of these possible rejection areas when getting involved in a trade. So there's your first level to be cautious of, possibly manage your trade. You've got another support level over here. You can see how we wicked into this area before, so also a pretty solid level. And then you've got your final support over here, which we can have as our final target. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. Looking for sales and a continuation of this high time frame trend here. So right now everything is lining up with the bearish sentiment. And yeah, like I say, just waiting for a break of support here. In terms of bars, you know, we are tapping into a daily support here. I'm not too interested in bars. But right now we are getting some sort of reaction from this level. You can see how we've closed pretty bullish on the previous hourly, although closing with no wick. So that kind of supports the case of moving further down. Right now, I'm not interested in bars at all. Say possibly above this resistance here, but pretty small range, not really worth it. So let's just leave that for now. We'll see what happens here on gold. In terms of GJ, okay, well, we've had a pretty strong push down here with the news. Let's see how news came out for GJ. No man, news isn't out yet. Is it? It is. Seems like pretty mixed numbers. Here we got better, excuse me, worse than expected. Mm. So yeah, let's just see how we react here on GJ. We've got a support level over here. Let's see it on a 30. Okay, so yeah, we've got a support level over there. Got a resistance over here. You could argue that your support level is over here. Ties in a little bit better with that level there. So let's leave that there because as you can see, we are now tapping into that level. We've had news, so if we do react off of that level, push back bullish and break the current candle high, or even just on the flip, you could see price drive up. Honestly, I'd like to wait for a break of resistance here. You've got this level here to be careful of. It's about a 20 pip range, and then above there you've got pretty clean traffic. So yeah, on a 4 hour looks like we are getting a rejection off of this level. Our current 4 hour doesn't have a bottom wick. We pushed up and now about to flip bearish. So you could see a further push down, but at this point I'm not too interested in sales here on GJ. I mean, you do have clean range below here. Only thing keeping me away from sales here is our daily bias here. Look how strong our push up was yesterday. So you could see a break into this range here to see a further wick formed before driving up. It would kind of make sense if we broke into that level. You got clean range moving down back to your daily support area. So you could consider this a type of fake out. You know, you had the support level, you broke out, you broke back in, you're pulling back down to test support before driving back up. Makes perfect sense. So let's just see. I don't think that's too bad of an idea. Possible sells below 168.60. For GJ, honestly, this range above resistance here is pretty small. And, you know, at this point in time, we are very, very volatile. Got a lot of volume in the market. So 20 pip range is really, I mean, as you can see here, just visually, it's very small right now. So I'd rather wait for a break above that resistance over there. And I mean, you did have a pretty strong move up yesterday, so you should get some sort of correction of this move before driving up. I think sells are valid here below support. Pretty straightforward, that's your plan for GJ. Looking back at gold, still moving up here. I mean, we are still pretty early in the 4-hour candle. We could just be waking up. Like I say, 4 hours close below your daily support level, if you want to mark it up like that. You can move this a bit higher. There's your daily support there, okay? So we've closed below that level on a 4-hour. That's a pretty strong confirmation. If we can push back down here and flip bearish on this 4-hour, you could expect to see price drive further down. In terms of a 4-hour, we've got very clean range all the way down to support here. You can see even this candle here, although it was very volatile and we acted off of this level, moving down there, the range was clean, okay? When we broke below support, we filled that range very easily. Now you've got clean traffic to the left. So I may even just wait for a resistance to be formed here. If you can get a decent resistance, or maybe a closure below a level like this, we could consider that a fake out and look for sales from there. Yeah, I like that level for sales below. At that point, you'll see the hourly candle flipping bearish. Like I say, previous hourly had no top wick supporting the ideas for sales. As you can see, we did drive up here, but you know, overall sentiment is bearish, and with no top wick there, you should see price possibly push back down. Yeah. So you could be looking at a fake out of this level over here. As you can see, our 15-minute candle has closed with quite a strong wick off of this level here. So we'll just wait for a closure back into this range here. About a 27, 25 pip range. So pretty small range there. Probably going to be better to wait for a break of support here. Then you've got about a 30 pip range moving down. Got a lot of range down to support here. Could be an interesting day on gold. GJ still pushing down. Your 15-minute has closed bearish, pretty strong. But of course just waiting for a break of support here to take any sells. So just waiting for a 30-minute closure at this point. Not too much to do right now. Pretty good day yesterday. Had a bar in gold, just had to manage risk, closed out half at 10 pips as price began to move against us, and then here on GJ had a really nice move. We caught this move up here yesterday. So I actually didn't see it from this perspective yesterday, but we had a daily support level over here, wherever you want to mark it up, and then our hourly, okay, closed above the daily support level. Okay, I had the same level marked up yesterday, this level here, and I was just a little bit worried that we were closing below that level, but I was saying that we had closed above here. There is a lot of bullish momentum and good pound news, and then as you can see on the 15-minute here, we had this bearish doji, and then 8 o'clock we pushed straight down, began to drive up, entered on the break of the highs here, caught this 50 odd pip range here, moving up. Funnily enough, I had marked up this level here as a target and then just kind of forgot about it. Thing is, it was like 140 pips away, so I wasn't even worried about it. 100 pips. Anyway, nothing wrong, pretty good day, pretty good trade. Guess it would have just been cool to have 100 pip runners, would have been a bonus, but is what it is. Because yeah, as you can see, there was clean range moving up. Once we tapped into that level, we had some sort of reaction, and now we are just in this consolidation, looking to correct some of this move from yesterday. Hey, thanks Jared, I don't know if you're still on, but yeah, looking like a good day on the charts here. Got nice clean range moving down, clean range moving up here on GJ. Looking for a daily continuation here on gold. Should be pretty fire. Yeah, you can see we are reacting to some sort of levels here. You're gonna have a hard time moving up at this point on gold. So I haven't even marked up levels for possible buys at this point. I don't even know. I don't even know where I would take buys. I would have to see something form for me to want to take buys, but maybe above the daily resistance kind of thing. Yeah, you got a little bit of range moving up there above the daily resistance. Yeah, it's not even worth analyzing for buys right now. Just waiting for a 30-minute closure. Something that's been happening a lot lately, let me see if I can find something. I think maybe on gold. Maybe it's a 30-minute I'm seeing it on. But we'll like close at a support, and then with volume our next candle just breaks through. Not seeing anything right now. Gold. Here we go. Other day. Closed on support here. Okay. But you can see even with this candle, volume was already kicking in. We just had a reaction to that level, but the overall bias was bearish and clearly momentum was kicking in. Your next candle, even though closing above support here, just drove straight down. Same story here, closed above support, candle wicked up, drove straight down. So if you can see here on GJ, if we do close on support here, we could still see volume move us down, but I would really like to see some sort of closure below this level here. Just gonna wait for a 30-minute before doing anything, and then we can see from there. Oh my word. Both gold and GG are lining up here, but gold right now, I'd like to wait for a little bit more confirmation. Possibly a closure in this range or below support. GJ, it looks like we might just get that closure below here. Before I was turned bearish at this point, got a pretty decent wick moving up to possibly drive further down. We do obviously have this level we need to clear. You can see that's a pretty strong level over there. So definitely want to be cautious with sales here. But like I say, you had a pretty, what am I saying? A very strong move up here. You would expect to see some sort of correction, and you do have clean traffic to the left here right now. Got about 5 minutes left here. So you've now flipped bearish here on gold. GJ is still above support. I may just end up waiting for 9 o'clock here on gold. Doesn't look like we're going to get the closure we want here. We are currently still above support on GJ and gold. I'd like to see a 30 or an hour closure bearish before looking to drive further down. If we do happen to break the low here on the previous 30 minute, you could see a drive down. You know, we've had a pretty strong rejection to this level over here. But I would like I say, a closure back in this range or closure below support. Obviously didn't get that right now. GJ moving straight down, no top wick here, so let's see if we get that top wick and then we can go from there right now. Tricky one. There obviously is a lot of volume here from news. It's pre-London. So you could see a break of the support and we just drive down. But right now got no confirmations at all. Closed above support. Got no top wick on the current candle. So we just have to wait. Unless we create that top wick on GJ, probably not going to get involved until London session open. At this point, if we pull back, create that top wick, and then come down to break the highs, the lows here, we could then be looking at a possible entry. Like I say, if we break the lows here, we should just drive on down. But with no top wick here, you know, there's like a 50-50 chance that we pull back up to create that top wick. Well, it's more like an 80% chance. So you want to rather be patient and wait for that to form. If it doesn't form, then you wait for closure. On the hourly, you should get some sort of opportunity, the new hourly candle. And your hourly closing below support here would be an even better confirmation than a 30-minute closure anyway. So I don't need you 30-minute. Waiting for an hourly. Looks like there's some news on the Elon Musk Twitter deal possibly not going through. I wonder how that'll affect Nasdaq. was just saying, if you wanted to get involved on the break of the 30-minute low here, you could have stops above the current candle or previous 15, but honestly I think it's going to be a better idea to wait for a 30-minute candle closure here just for some more confirmation. Don't know if we're going to get that top wick on GJ here, just pushing straight down. If we break that low, we should just move down. About 21 minutes until 9 o'clock. Gonna leave GJ alone for now, just waiting for 9 o'clock. Wanna see what happens here. I'd like to see a bit of a pullback to create that wick on that candle, or just form a resistance in this area before driving further down. If we do drive down, there's no entry for me, so it is what it is. Here on gold we've got about 3 minutes, 4 minutes to our 15-minute candle closure, and this is pretty good for our fake out setup here. So we did plan a fake out closure back in this range and then a push further down. So let's just see here. It's not too bad. I would have preferred to see a 30-minute closure, but not looking too shabby right now. You can see volume is beginning to kick in. I mean, your 15-minute candle is about 20 pips. So a lot of volume here already. So I'd definitely like to see a wick up on the 15, possibly tapping into 1811 before driving back down. Probably looking at like 25 pip stops, and then your targets, I mean, at this point, so that'll be about 15, 18 pips back down at that support level if we get involved around this current area. Yeah, about 15 odd pips. At that point, I'd like to have stops at break even. You know, there's a lot of room to run down here. So I'm not too sure if I want to be closing 50% there, or let a little bit run, close 50% here, and then leave runners into some of these levels. We'll just see how it goes. You can see how hesitant GJ is to push down here, because we are still missing that top wick of this 30-minute candle. In fact, if we drive up now to create that top wick, we may even close above support here. So that'll be interesting to see. About to close on the 15-minute, looking really, really nice. Looking just fine. Pulling back a little bit now before we close. That's alright, leaving us a little bit of a wick to fill. $15 of his closing below support here. Like I say, no entries there. Gold, I'd like to see a little bit more of a wick up on this candle, but doesn't look like we're going to get that. Okay, well, you got your top wick on the 15-minute, so gonna have sell stops on the break of the low of the previous 15. Stops above the current 30-minute candle. May just end up waiting for the hourly closure here. We'll just see. About a 29 pip stop loss here today. Yeah, GJ may just drive straight down here. It's not to say we don't get an entry. If we close like this on an hourly or retrace a little bit, we could still get entries here. Not a lot of range down to support here. It's the only thing I don't like, but of course, if we do tap into that support, our 4 hour will be breaking its own low. We've got a really nice wick up. So we should see the volume kick in at that point. But if we don't get triggered in the next 5 minutes, then I don't know, man. I may wait for the hourly closure. So if the 15-minute breaks its own low now, we should fill the wick. Okay, so we got about 5 minutes left here. Gonna leave these sell stops in for now. Yeah, look at GJ. Pushed all the way back up into that range now. So you could expect to see the next candle drive up, create the top wick for this previous candle, and then, yeah, unless we reject the support and drive up, we could get an entry on a closure below this level. Possibly even a break of the low here. We'll just see. It's a pretty big stop. So as we sit right now, your 30-minute is looking perfect, exactly what we wanted. So actually going to delete the sell stop, wait for a little bit of a wick up here before setting sell stops on the break of the low. Probably gonna put the same exact position in, but yeah, I just want to make sure we don't get triggered in prematurely on the new hourly candles volatility. You know, we could break the low and then push up, create the high, and you know, don't want to get stopped out because we didn't wait for the closure. If you're on the stream this morning, good morning. Give a like there. Feel free to ask questions. So far looking like we've got a pretty nice setup here. So stay tuned. I'd like to see this 30-minute wick up even into this level over here before setting a sell stop on the break of the low. We shouldn't pull back too deeply, but it is London open, so anything could happen. 2 minutes. Looks like we may even just break this previous 15-minute low. But at this point, like I say, better to just wait for your candle closure. 1 minute to go. Already you can see the volatility pushing down, pushing up. What the fuck is going on? No, go away. This is not a good time. Can you please fuck off? Okay, so we've broken the low there, but we've just closed now on the hourly, closing with no bottom wick. So tricky, but it's not the end of the world. I'd like to just see a decent wick up before driving down. Okay, so that looks pretty good at this point. I'm gonna have sell stops on the break of the low. I don't like how there is no bottom wick here, but there is a lot pointing to sells at this point. So if we do drive up, tap into that level, reject, and then drive down and break the low, you should be set to push to support here. Like I say, at that point you'll be flipping bearish on the 4 hour. You should have a little bit more volume now. Shouldn't have any problems here, so going to have our sell stop on the break of the low here. GJ, oh wow. This looks like a pretty good setup here on GJ. You did close below support here. This kind of doji candle, if you break the low there, you should get a move down. So about a 38 pip stop there. But that looks pretty good. Going to have a sell stop on the break of the low here on GJ. So you should be in at that point. If we break the high on the 30-minute here, I'm going to remove these sell stops and wait for closure below support. says my connection is excellent, but someone says I'm having a problem here. So if you're watching, just let me know how the quality is, if it's not too bad. Okay, so we're gonna remove this sell stop for now on gold. We are in a trade here on GJ. Obviously with no bottom wick there, that's probably the reason we've just pushed straight up here. So like I say, gonna probably just wait for a closure below support at this point. So yeah, I mean, inflation up for GBP. We have, like I say, closed below support here. Broken the low. Your setup on the 15-minute looks pretty clean. Like I say, got clean range moving down. And then, of course, you had a really strong move up, which you should expect to see some sort of correction on. So this range here looks good for that to happen. If we end up re-breaking the high on the 15-minute here, I may just close full. I wanted to put the stop loss above the previous candle, just is the most logical stop, but at this point, yeah, like I say, above the current candle is probably going to be a good place to minimize risk. Driving back down here. If we re-break the lows at this point, we should move quite nicely. Looking left here, we got some minor traffic at this area here. And that should put us in about 15 pips of profit, so we will have stops at break even as we tap into that level. And probably close out half. Not I mean, looks like a good trade. Let's see. Okay, since we are pushing down now, I'll have stops above the current candle. But looking like we're going to move to break even pretty soon either way. Okay, closing half at this point. 15 pips secured. And stops are going to be at break even. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we are rejecting that same area as earlier. You could just see a very steep wick on this hourly and then possible flip later in the hour to drive further down. Your stop at that point is going to be pretty big. So I want to wait for a 30-minute closure here or possibly a closure below support so we can work with something else other than this wick here. This is quite a big stop right now in gold. You'd have about a 50 pip stop. Keep in mind you've got a pretty big target as well. So yeah, whatever happens here, just waiting for a 30-minute closure either way. Pushing down nicely on GJ. If we can close below the support on the 15 minutes, which has about 30 seconds left, you should see us drive to 160-300, and if we break that level, we should push down to support here. So far, so good. Of course, you could expect to see a wick up on the 15 minutes, so may get stopped out of break even here, but yeah, we've already secured some of our positions, so yeah, whatever happens, happens. Our stop loss was pretty big here. Initial stop was, yeah, about 38 pips. Of course, when the market is more volatile, your stops are going to be a bit bigger, and you should also be reducing risk at that point. Closed half at 15. So there's your wick on the 15 minute. That looks pretty nice. If we break the low here, hopefully we just push straight down and then we should survive this and get a few more pips out of this trade. Pretty strong rejection here on the 15 minute, but obviously closing bullish. Not going to be in a rush to get involved. I mean, your 5 minute looks pretty strong, but of course, like I say, just waiting for a 30-minute closure at this point. If let's say we close back below this range, okay, back below this level, and then our new 30-minute wicks up to resistance here, and then we break the low, you'll be looking at a much better stop, about a 20 pip stop at most, and then that is something we can look into. Obviously right now, yeah, what's going on in the chat? Hey! Shot boys. W's in the chat, hey? Who else is on the stream? Why are you not giving W's? Come on, Oaks. Nico knows what's up. Shot Jared. Fuck. I can't get over this. Hey. It's a proud moment here. Got the first W's in the chat. Feeling like controller FX. So yeah, we're tapping into a bit more of a rejection zone here. We may create a steeper wick on the 15 minute. Gonna just close out another 25% here. Yeah, hit a W and the numbers picked up. You guys missed it. I need to figure out a way to have the chat box like somewhere on the side here during the stream. I had it up, but it didn't seem to be the right chat box. So yeah, like I say, moving up on the 15 minute now, creating a steeper wick. Could still drive down, but we may hit break even here. So that is it for GJ today. Hit break even there, but did secure 15 pips. Not too happy with how gold is sitting right now. Probably gonna have to wait for 10 a.m. 10 a.m. candle. We'll just see. Cheers, cheers. Pushing up pretty heavily here on gold. Not too sure if that sell is even gonna happen. You know, we may test one of these levels here before driving further down. But I'm not too interested to get involved, even if we do pull up to that point and reject that. I just feel, you know, this 4 hour candle right now, I'd like to see it push down a little bit more, and I'd like to catch the move as the 4 hour candle flips bearish. So same idea here, waiting for a break below support here. I think this fake out setup is out the window right now. Gonna be tricky to take a sell within this range. So right now that's the only plan here on gold. You had that wick up on GJ. You could find the next 30 minutes push down, but yeah, is what it is. Had to manage risk here. Looks like we just got tapped out. You know, our entry was on the break of the low here. So we just got tapped out at break even. These things happen, man. You have to reduce your risk. It's part of the game. Could see a further drive down here, but right now we're sitting in the middle of the range, so not too eager to get involved in any further push down. Like I say, done with GJ for now. Yeah, and I think with your 30-minute closing like that, I'm probably going to be out of here, guys. I mean, you got quite a lot of work to do to get back down to this point. And, I mean, you got the 4-hour close at 11. So those sales might only play out during New York, if they even happen. You know, at this point you are also rejecting this daily support level. Like I say, your 4-hour close below that daily support. But right now we are pushing back up off of that area, so yeah, just gotta be cautious. I'm done for the day, guys. I mean, like I say, not too much more to do here. I think you're gonna be waiting a while for sales below this level. So yeah, one trade for the day, one win here on GJ, and we're gonna call it. So cheers, guys. Hope everyone has a great day. See you tomorrow.